Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So a little bit of a different video today. Today I'm going over my how I made my first $1,000 buying and selling sports cards. So let's get right into it. First up, I started about last year in July, August. So it's been about a year now I've been in sports cards. I collected a lot as a kid and even during COVID, but I kind of got out of it for a few years. Decided to hop back in later last year, and I was picking up a lot of stuff like this, Optic Shock, Rashee Rice, just like cheaper stuff, ETN, Garrett Wilson, guys I thought were gonna have a good season last year. And I quickly learned that's not the way to go about it. When you're out there investing in players, I mean, sure, it can definitely pay off, but when you're doing it with like low end cards like this, low end parallels, it's not worth it. These aren't really going to gain you value at all. So that's my first tip: is don't buy cheap inserts and parallels of players you think are going to pop off, because these things won't go up in price at all. I've winded up, it wasn't a big risk. I was spending $3, $4, $5 on each card, but winded up losing a decent amount of money when I was started to do that. So quickly learned that wasn't the case. Then I found grading. I actually started grading some Pokemon cards first, but I did grade a good amount of sports cards last year. I just graded some stuff that was in my collection. I had a Justin Jefferson Purple Shock, graded that got a 10, sold it for like $175, I believe, on eBay during the season. So started to get into that, started to see the potential. Then I went into Pokemon for a little bit and really took off from there. So now we'll showcase some of the cards that I've been grading and what I've been doing now. So these are kind of the cards that I like to grade. These are high gem rate cards. If you guys don't know, you can go on gemrate.com and search the set, and you can see what parallels grade well, what players grade well, and kind of mitigate your risk there. While there is some upside grading cards that have lower gem rates, like this Zachary Richer Prism, a lot of these prisms from this year are really tough gems, but that means that their PSA 10s go for a lot. So I would recommend, if you find a clean copy of one, taking a shot at it. But other than that, if you're just getting started, stick to the ones that have high gem rates. Again, that's gemrate.com. Super helpful. Saved me a lot of time, a lot of money probably. So, Optic Preview had a great gem rate this year. And the downside is you're not going to get as much return on your PSA 10s if you grade cards that have high gem rates. So stuff like this, I'm not making too much on, but still pretty cool. Liv Morgan, she's gonna be a lot of money. That's another tip I have, is find your niche. So, everyone's buying the Joe Burrows, the Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jacksons, but when you can find, a sport or a certain player or a certain team that people may not be really into. So for me, it was wrestling. I found a lot of wrestling cards. There's a lot of opportunity there. People just passed up on them at card shows. I've sold countless wrestling cards I picked up at shows or on eBay for, higher margins, because people don't know what they're looking at. So Liv Morgan, her stuff sells really well. I've picked up a lot of her cards. I have another card in this stack that I just got in the mail today, actually, right here. Got this for about 15 bucks on DC Sports 87. We'll talk about consignments here in a little bit. But this is probably a $30, $40 card right here. So anyway, cool card here. Gem this one up. And then Caleb Williams got this at a card show as well. Again, Optic Preview gemmed really high, so the gem rate was really high. So figured I'd send this one in, and I got a 10. So yeah, just use that tool, gemrate.com, and you should get 10s. Another thing that I will mention when you're grading, this is how I made a lot of my money so far, contributed at least 70% of my first $1,000 in sports cards, is grading cards that might have a flaw in them. This one had like a little scratch on the bottom, might be hard to tell right over here. Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell on camera, but still send it in. I mean, if it has one very minor flaw, now if it's a deep scratch or a really bad white corner, then you don't want to waste your money and time. But if you think it has a shot at gemming, try it, because Like for example, this Liv Morgan had some roller marks in the back. I was not super sure it was gonna gem, but I thought it had a chance, and it did. So send cards in that you think have a chance. If they don't waste your time and money on it, but sometimes they'll surprise you. Here's some of the cards that I'm picking up now that I've learned what to pick up, so I'll show you guys. First up, selling on hype. So I'm not planning on holding any of these football cards into the season really. I'm gonna sell them before the season starts just because the hype is there and I'm not taking a risk on their performance. Obviously they can get hurt during the off season, but it's definitely not as likely. So Tyrone Tracy, and this is a numbered card at a 99. It's another thing. Buying cards that are low numbered that have high volatility. I mean, I bought this card for $24, I believe. The next cheapest on eBay is $100. So, and they've been selling for about $50. So, I mean, buying cards that are really common, like base prisms or optic rated rookies or Donruss base cards, those are all gonna go for about the same price every single time. But when you're buying cards that have numbers on them like this, you're just gonna, you know, control the market more, and that's really what you want when it comes to buying and selling, especially when you're buying on eBay or another public marketplace where people can see your comps. If you're buying at a card show, you might have a little more wiggle room, but when you're buying on eBay, you really gotta be careful because everyone can see what you paid for it. Anyway, Caleb Downs, guys that are hyped up for the next draft. I really wasn't into college football too much before I started getting into cards, and you know, expanding your knowledge of the game, watching highlights, listening to podcasts, that'll all help your knowledge for cards and help you make money as well. So Drew Aller right here, big name, and then Liv Morgan again. That card I just bought, this one's out of 75, I believe. Where does it say? Yeah, 75. And then finding cards like this, quarterbacks that may be undervalued. This guy I got for 65, I think, at a card show. And, you know, I can probably sell this for 130, 140, especially if it was a PSA 10, but it's SGC, so maybe go a little bit cheaper than that. But cards that people may not be too into right now, but while the season starts to heat up, they might go for a substantial amount more. So that's what I'll say about that. Also, do not open packs. You're going to lose money 100%. Even if you open packs and you hold a card. I pulled this card during COVID 2020 and it was about $300 at the time. Now it's like a $40 card. So it's a PC card, but that's just because to show you, don't hold on to cards unless they're PC. I'm not really mad about it because I wanted to keep this card, but don't hold on to cards for the long term if they're unproven players, unless you're really, really certain they're gonna go up in price. But even that's a dangerous game. And then just don't open packs. That's my advice on that. So we've kind of went over grading. We went over what not to do when buying cheaper parallels. I guess we can get into consignment real quick. So like I bought this card on consignment, these two. DC Sports 87s, the most popular one on eBay. There's also Quick Consign and a few others. Those are really good if you can stack your cart, bid on a few cards at a time, and stack your cart for a couple days straight, and you can save on shipping. So that's just a quick tip right there. Just looking on eBay, save searches as well. Save searches are huge. Type in what you want to look for, and then click the little heart on eBay, and you'll be able to save your search. So when you're on the mobile app, you can pull it up real quick. You don't have to type in all the filters and everything like that. So those are my tips right now that I've found worked well for me. Eventually I started getting into bigger cards. Now I graded this Bryce Young Dragon Scale. Got this for $150 on eBay, had a really high gem rate, and graded it PSA 10. And now it's about a $350 to $400 card. So stuff like that is how you do it. In my opinion, buying low numbered cards of players that people want, finding your niche that people may not be looking at, like wrestling or certain players may be undervalued, even women's basketball. A lot of people don't know or don't tap into that market, but it's really hot right now. You can find a lot of good value in that. And then consignment is good as well. And also just having fun. I mean, you want to like the hobby. You want to do stuff that is fun and is rewarding to you. So collecting along the way, this Bryce Young Blue Wave, I can look at it kind of as an investment. But if it goes down in price, I'm cool with it because I'm a Panthers fan and this is a cool card. So if you're in it for the wrong reasons, you're not going to do too well, in my opinion. But if you like what you're doing and you're having fun, it's going to be a whole lot easier to make money in sports cards. One more thing I'll mention, ComC, it's an app on your iPhone. Also, you have a website for it. That's a really good place to buy and sell quick flips. You can send your cards there. They can list them for you, or you can just buy and sell on the marketplace. I've started to do that recently and have some success. The fees are very minimal compared to eBay. There's no shipping. They just store them. You can buy a card on the marketplace, sell it the next day, not even touch the card. So that's pretty cool. One more thing, I guess, before I go, I will say when you're grading cards, you definitely want to make sure you're cleaning the card with a microfiber cloth. Let's see if I have one right here. One of these, you're going to take the card out, wipe it down. This can be the difference between a 9 or a 10 or an 8 or a 9. And you want to shine it under the light, wipe down any areas that have surface issues, and evaluate the card from there. So that's my last little snippet right there, but that's how I made my first $1,000 in trading cards. Grading, buying low number cards, and having fun and learning from my mistakes early on. And the beauty of it is we're still making mistakes. Everyone still makes mistakes. Even your favorite content creators, they will make mistakes. And that's just part of it. Let's come to investing as well. Warren Buffett still makes mistakes when he's investing. So don't get discouraged, keep pushing, keep moving along. And it's supposed to be fun at the end of the day. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully you learned something or were entertained. I'll be dropping some more content this week. I have some mail days coming up, so that should be fun. And then I'll try to do some more videos like this if this does well, to help inform people and just talk about cards in general. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.